Hello, it's Foreign News O'Clock on All News Nigeria. I am Okwemi Olubemi. Here are the headlines for today. California gunman commits suicide. Boris Johnson visits Ukraine. Google lays off 12,000 employees. Now the news in details. A man suspected of killing 10 people in a Chinese New Year mass shooting in California has fatally shot himself in his van. Los Angeles County Sheriff Robert Luna said the man was found dead in the vehicle he used to flee the scene of an attempted second shooting. The suspected gunman was identified as 72-year-old Ukan Tran. The gunman had tried to carry out another shooting at a separate club just minutes after the first one on Saturday night. But authorities said two bystanders wrestled the man's weapon away from him before any shots could be fired. The shooting took place around the location of a two-day Chinese Lunar New Year celebration, where many downtown streets are closed for festivities that draw thousands of people across Southern California. The city has for decades been a destination for immigrants from China. Around 65% of its residents are Asian, according to U.S. Census data, and the city is known for its many Chinese restaurants and groceries. The Star Ballroom Dance Studio opened in 1990, and its website features many photographs of past Lunar New Year celebrations showing patrons smiling and dancing in party clothes in its large, brightly lit ballroom. Most of its patrons are middle-aged or seniors, though children also attend youth dance classes, according to a teacher at the studio. The gunshots were mistaken by some for New Year fireworks. Of the 10 people injured, 7 remained hospitalized on Sunday night, with at least one person in critical condition. President Joe Biden condemned the killings in a written statement and said he had directed his Homeland Security advisor to mobilize federal support to local authorities. The attack in Monterey Park was the deadliest since May 2022, when a gunman killed 19 students and 2 teachers at a school in Uvalde, Texas. The deadliest shooting in California history was in 1984, when a gunman killed 21 people at McDonald's restaurant in San Isidro, near San Diego. In other news, former UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson has traveled to the Ukrainian capital, Kyiv. Mr. Johnson visited the outskirts of the city on Sunday before being received by Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky. The Conservative MP said it was a privilege to visit the country at the invitation of Mr. Zelensky. The unannounced visit came as fresh questions over the former Prime Minister's personal finances emerged in the United Kingdom. The stunt from claims the BBC's chairman Richard Sharp helped Boris Johnson secure a loan guarantee while he was Prime Minister. Mr. Sharp went on to be appointed to his BBC role by the government. Boris Johnson visited the towns of Bucha and Borodyanka to the northwest of Kyiv, which were occupied by Russian forces in March last year. After Russian troops were repelled, scenes of mass destruction were discovered in the two towns, including the bodies of civilians strewn along a street in Bucha. Mr. Johnson was quoted as saying that the suffering of the people of Ukraine has gone on for too long. Current UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak was said to be supportive of Boris Johnson's visit to Ukraine. Boris Johnson's visit comes as increased pressure is being put on allies of Ukraine, including Germany, to supply more tanks to the war-torn country. The UK recently confirmed that it will send Challenger 2 tanks to Ukraine to bolster the country's war effort, a decision Mr. Johnson's spokesman said he supported. Mr. Johnson has made several visits to Ukraine, both as Prime Minister and since he left Downing Street. Just a few days ago, he took part in a panel discussion on Ukraine at the World Economic Forum in Davos, which Mr. Zelensky attended via video link. On business news, Google's parent company, Alphabet, has announced a plan to cut about 12,000 jobs globally in the latest round of big tech layoffs. The new decision, according to the company, would affect 6% of its workforce across the world. The new development comes a day after Microsoft announced plans to lay off approximately 11,000 of its employees. In a blog post on Friday, Alphabet Incorporation's Chief Executive Officer, Sundar Pichai, said the company has decided to reduce its workforce by approximately 12,000 roles. Google is the latest technology company to lay off its employees in a new wave of massive layoffs in the tech industry, in which employees of Twitter, Facebook, Amazon, IT Group, Salesforce, and Microsoft have been affected. And that's it on today's news. To keep up with Allnews Nigeria, kindly follow us on all social media platforms displayed on the screen. Stay tuned on our channel for more updates. I am Opeyemi Obi.